So, I printed out this mount for the Z-axis here. I kind of don't like my chances of this motor having enough power, which sucks. Because I really like, aesthetically, I like having this tiny pancake motor for Z. It just looks cool. But anyway, I can always put a bigger motor there. But yeah, anyway, I've made that. It will probably work. And I put a bigger rail on the Z because I happen to have it laying around. I've started making this aluminium piece here. Mounted these. Alright, so for the X-axis, the motor that's going to be going like that, in the last video I said I didn't want to use this coupler because it's a flexible coupler, and that would mean I'd need to also like lock this down, support this lead screw somehow so it wouldn't move that way. Well, I realised I can just print a coupler, and this seems like it's going to be plenty strong enough. Which is good. Just put some little grub screws in there. Yeah, nice and easy. And yeah, it's pretty solid. I also put a dab of super glue in those holes because, or just in these two here, because this side I think is going to be okay because it's got that D shape on the shaft. This, I just really wanted to make sure it wasn't going to slip. Didn't seem like it was going to slip anyway, but yeah, now I've got that super glue in there. It's pretty solid. And it's a bit smaller than this, a bit more lightweight, so yeah, I think this is the way to go. Okay, some more progress. So I've mounted the X, basically X is done. Yeah, mounted the motor there and designed this. Yep. You've got your E3D V6 down there. This here is a cooler which also blows. It's like a part fan and heatsink cooler. Don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to give it a try because that means I have to add an extra fan for part cooling. I don't know, it might be terrible, but this thing's only going to print slow, so it might work. Something that's not ideal is the filament path. It's a bit long and it's a bit bent, but it's definitely going to work. It'll be totally fine, and it's going to be way better than a remote extruder. I'm going to say it's good enough. It just doesn't look ideal how that's bent, or how it had to be bent, so I can actually go around that lead screw. Alright, just got the Z working. So obviously got the 16 tooth pulley there, 80 tooth pulley there, 16 tooth pulley down there, 16 tooth pulley up there, and these clamps. I really need to remember that you can't really tap into 3mm thick aluminium. It just kind of strips. But I stripped the top a little bit and then decided I'll just put a bunch of super glue there and tighten that down as best I can. Because that's super glued, that's tight enough. Then I wrenched this one up, tightened it, put some more super glue for good measure. Then I tightened this up to actually bring the tension up to a reasonable amount, and it feels pretty solid. So we'll see how we go. I don't know if the resolution is as good as a lead screw. It might be, but I think it'll be okay with micro stepping. I think it should work. So yeah, that's that. And it doesn't fall down, like you gotta give it a bit of pressure to actually make it move. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool. Now I don't know how I didn't notice this before, but there is a tiny bit of backlash, which you can hear. Hang on. Ugh, bring that up a bit. And maybe you can see. It's hard to do it without moving the camera as well, but there you go. I don't know how much backlash that is. 1/4 millimeter maybe. Probably enough to be annoying on prints. So I might have to, I've got some brass. I might even have 2 more of these nylon nuts. I'm not sure, but I can probably make, because I couldn't see where you could buy anti-backlash nuts like with the spring for this size, for the T5. So I was thinking I'd maybe make my own, but I'm not really sure. I'll give it a go maybe, but maybe I'll just try and print like this and see what the effect is. But that's yeah, not as good as I was hoping. Oh. Anyway, that's a thing. So here we've got the printer on the desk, and as you can see, it's more of a desktop printer. All of my other printers are a bit big for the desk, so that's kind of cool. I've just put the control board here on a mount, so as you can see, that's an angle, and that's so when this bed comes back, if I have a really tall print, this board won't interfere. Plus the angle looks cool, so that's a bonus. So yeah, I've just started wiring up the stepper motors. I don't have any micro switches for end stops, and I'm hoping to use sensorless homing, so we'll see how that goes. I've got a Pi here for testing. I might add clipper screen and a different Pi, but we'll just see. For now, I'll just test it with this. And I think the only other thing is really that I've got this power supply from the K8200, which is 15 volts and 7 amps. And obviously, most of the time you'd have like a power supply mounted to the printer, but because I'm kind of trying to keep this compact, I think this would be a good choice. So yeah, I think that's about all there is to say for the moment. And I think the next video will probably be actually printing, and yeah, we'll see how the quality is. Got a feeling it'll be pretty good if it's anything like my other lead screw printer. So yeah, subscribe to see that.